Paano isulat ang RRL sa research paper? Step number 1. Begin with an introductory statement. Give an introductory statement about the purpose of your literature review. Example: the research and works of literature that will be pertinent to the issue are presented in this chapter. They are gathered to assist the researcher in analyzing the study's findings and outcomes in reference to the current issue. Step number 2. Provide the theoretical frameworks used in your study. Magbigay ng brief overview sa bawat key theories at framework that you will use in your research. I-explain mo din kung paano naging relevant and important yung key theories and framework na iyon sa iyong research. Example: the theory of planned behavior. According to the theory of planned behavior, a person's choice to engage in a particular activity might be influenced by their desire to do so. And you can add more in order to discuss that theory and make sure also to include the relevance of that theory in your research. Step number 3. Provide the context of the study. Isulat mo ang context or background ng iyong study. The context refers to the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea, and in terms of which it can be fully understood and assessed. For example, if your study is about life insurance, then you talk about life insurance in this part of your review of your RRL. Example: life insurance in particular and insurance in general have been characterized from a variety of perspectives including economic, social, business, legal, and so forth. You can add more to talk about the context or the background of your study. Step number 4. Write about the variables of your study. I-discuss mo yung mga variables in your study. Maaari mong i-separate ang explanation for the different variables in your studies according to their connection to each other. Example: in order to lay out the literature and search that would help in comprehension of the subject, this section of the article examines the variables that will be used in current study. The variables which cover the construct of financial attitude, financial behavior, financial literacy, life insurance demand, intention to purchase life insurance, and actual purchase are arranged based on the researcher's observance of the trip made by the policy holders. So you can write down the variables such as financial attitude, financial behavior, and many more. Step number 5. Research hypotheses and their justification. If your study involves hypothesis testing, make sure to include the justification for the research hypothesis in your study. Example: the paper's hypotheses are described in this section, along with the factors that led the author to choose them for the current study's hypothesis. So dito, you may start with those studies that supports the hypothesis that you're trying to test, and also discuss those inconsistencies, debates, and gaps about these hypotheses. And after writing those previous studies, you may write, through these conflicting studies, the researcher hypothesized that financial attitude significantly influences financial behavior. Take note na applicable lamang ito sa mga studies with hypothesis testing. Step number 5. Synthesize the literature in your study. You may group related studies and literature by themes. Organize the studies into groups based on common themes or topics. This will help you identify patterns and relationships among the studies. Highlight the problem, the research question, methods, and key findings of the previous related studies. Example: in this study, the author organized the studies into the challenges in the research conceptualization process. He also grouped them based on the factors influencing the research conceptualization process. Step number 6. I-summarize mo yung mga main findings of previous research studies. I-highlight mo yung gaps or inconsistencies sa existing literature. Example: the result of this literature review showed little information about the actual procedures that students go through when conceptualizing the research, despite the wealth of data on the students' experiences and outcomes in undergraduate research. Information on how mechanical engineering research students conceptualize research is still scarce. There are no current studies that explore this topic as far as the researcher is aware. Huwag mong kalimutang maglagay ng citation. So there you go. That is how you write the review of related literature in your research paper. Kailangan mo ba ng tulong sa research mo? We are here to help you. Visit now www.thewiseresearcher.com for more information. I hope that it helps. If you have a question, comment it down below. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, mga ka-wise researchers!